Baldoni is going on the offensive. He just launched a website containing 168 pages of documents and text.
On Blake Lively's claims that she was allegedly harassed by this guy when they shot the movie, It Ends With Us, a film about domestic violence. And was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And to the point where this guy was in the basement at his own movie's premiere. And that what in fact happened was you guys were the ones out there generating negative press against Justin. You guys were the ones who were trying to ruin Justin at the Reynolds penthouse in Manhattan, where Ryan Reynolds allegedly bullied Justin so badly that a Sony representative, and her biggest takeaway was, it was so nasty. There's just so much more to this story, and the media's already like self-flagellating. Oh, we were too mean to Blake. And now you see text messages from Blake Lively comparing herself. She's the mother of dragons in Game of Thrones, that she too has her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift. What Brian Friedman alleges is, and that they are powerful advocates for her. You'll go along or I'll unleash my dragons on you, you loser who no one's ever heard of.
I can't believe neither side is like giving in. They're like digging in further.
A lawsuit that is full of evidence, documents, which prove exactly what she did to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
Baldoni is going on the offensive.
What was meant to be a highly anticipated Hollywood adaptation of It Ends With Us has turned into a full-blown disaster. Directed by Justin Baldoni and starring Blake Lively, the film has been heavily criticized, with both audiences and reviewers calling it a major flop. But the real drama is happening off-screen. Baldoni and Lively are now locked in a bitter legal battle, with speculation that Lively could even face jail time. A New York Times exposé, which some claim unfairly targets Baldoni, has only intensified the controversy. To fight back, Baldoni has launched a bombshell website, packed with hundreds of leaked documents, text messages, and receipts supporting his case. Instead of settling the dispute, this move has escalated the chaos, making the situation even more explosive. So, how did everything fall apart so spectacularly? Let's break it all down. Is there any hope left for this disastrous project? When news first broke that It Ends With Us, a novel celebrated for its deep emotional themes, was getting a film adaptation, fans were ecstatic. The announcement seemed like a dream collaboration. Justin Baldoni, praised for his sensitive directorial touch, and Blake Lively, whose red carpet presence often overshadows her on-screen work. But doubts surfaced early. Many questioned whether Lively had the depth to handle such a heavy role, with some critics even dismissing her as a C-list actress in a part that required a more nuanced performer. Still, hope remained. Baldoni had a history of turning emotional stories into box office success. So where did it all go wrong? Almost from the start, insiders whispered about a growing creative clash. Baldoni reportedly envisioned a raw, emotionally charged adaptation that stayed true to the novel, while Lively, rumored to be adding comedic flair and glamour, seemed to push for a more mainstream feel. What began as ordinary creative differences quickly spiraled into the chaotic fiasco now playing out in front of the world. The first signs of trouble emerged when on-set sources mentioned tension over comedic rewrites. Baldoni was determined to maintain the novel's gut-wrenching authenticity, while Lively allegedly suggested punchlines and a polished, glossy aesthetic. Fans of the book were furious when leaked images showed Lively in high-fashion outfits, clashing with the novel's serious themes. It didn't take long before rumors exploded, turning quiet whispers into a full-blown Hollywood scandal. Lively felt pushed aside, claiming she was excluded from key decisions, while Baldoni stood firm, insisting that one actor's comedic instincts shouldn't override the novel's deeply emotional core. Most assumed this creative friction would simply impact the film, but no one predicted the legal firestorm that followed. When Justin Baldoni filed a defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively, both fans and industry insiders were shocked by the sheer magnitude of his accusations. He alleged that Lively spread false narratives about his directing style, portraying him as a controlling force who deliberately shut her out of the creative process. Baldoni claimed these accusations not only damaged his professional reputation, but also crippled the film's box office potential. In Hollywood, defamation lawsuits are already high-stakes battles, but Baldoni's took things to another level. By seeking massive damages, he sent a clear message. He wasn't about to let rumors and reputation smearing go unchecked. Then came Lively's counterattack, a lawsuit of her own, accusing Baldoni of on-set bullying that, she claimed, stifled her performance and prevented her from delivering her best work. What started as a creative dispute had now escalated into a full-blown legal war. Despite the intensifying court battle, the studio pushed forward with the film's release. For many fans, this was the moment of truth. Would the adaptation capture the emotional depth of the novel? The answer? Disappointment across the board. Critics tore the film apart, slamming its inconsistent tone, a bizarre mix of gut-wrenching confessions and ill-timed humor that clashed completely with the novel's raw, emotional themes. And the box office numbers only made things worse, confirming that audiences weren't buying it either. With the movie failing to connect, the question lingered. Was it destined to flop from the moment the creative clashes began? The legal circus surrounding Baldoni and Lively completely overshadowed the film's promotional efforts. Instead of generating buzz for the movie, headlines were dominated by their bitter courtroom showdown. Now, the film serves as a cautionary tale, a painful reminder that behind-the-scenes chaos often translates to an on-screen disaster. In a last-ditch effort to contain the fallout, insiders claim that Lively's team pushed for a gag order, hoping to silence both parties from speaking publicly. But the court shot it down, leaving the door wide open for the drama to keep unfolding. With no gag order in place, every new leak, accusation, and speculation has been amplified across tabloids and social media, turning what was once a highly anticipated film into a never-ending Hollywood scandal. Both Baldoni and Lively continue to fight for their reputations in the court of public opinion. Lively's camp releases statements about her alleged on-set mistreatment, while Baldoni's supporters share behind-the-scenes accounts that paint a different picture. The back-and-forth battle is relentless, drowning out whatever shred of dignity the film had left. In a highly unusual move, Justin Baldoni launched a website dedicated exclusively to the lawsuit, packed with documents, text messages, and internal production emails. According to Baldoni, this evidence proves his claims that Lively deliberately twisted the truth, manipulating public perception to cast him as the villain in this controversy. Now, fans and industry insiders are poring over the files with morbid fascination, dissecting every detail as this Hollywood train wreck continues to unfold. Some of the leaked text messages show Lively pushing for comedic elements in key emotional scenes, allegedly undermining the novel's core themes. Others suggest she backtracked on those ideas only after fans reacted negatively. While critics argue that Baldoni's decision to go public could be a strategic PR move, his supporters insist it's about transparency. In their eyes, he's putting everything on display so the truth can't be distorted. Then came the New York Times piece. What should have been a standard high-profile feature took a turn that Team Baldoni claims was blatantly one-sided. The article framed Baldoni as an inflexible, domineering director, while Lively was positioned as a struggling actress caught in a difficult situation. Baldoni's supporters weren't having it. They slammed the article as a smear campaign, accusing the Times of cherry-picking details while conveniently ignoring key evidence from Baldoni's website. The backlash was immediate, with social media erupting in debate. Some criticized Baldoni as unyielding, while others pointed out that the Times has a history of publishing controversial profiles that fuel industry drama. Baldoni's legal team took it even further, claiming the article only went to print after private discussions between the Times and Lively's camp, suggesting a hidden agenda. Whether that's fact or speculation remains unclear. And as if a box office disaster and dueling defamation lawsuits weren't enough, rumors are now swirling that Blake Lively could be in even deeper trouble. Rumors are swirling that Lively may have provided, or at least endorsed, allegedly doctored evidence in her countersuit. If proven in court, that could lead to serious legal consequences, including perjury or obstruction charges, both of which carry the potential for jail time. While legal experts caution that talk of a 5-year sentence is likely exaggerated, the mere suggestion that a Hollywood star, A-list or otherwise, could face prison is enough to dominate headlines. So far, Baldoni's team hasn't confirmed whether they're pursuing criminal charges, but if the evidence on his website is as damning as he claims, Lively might be looking at a legal nightmare far beyond just defamation lawsuits. Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds' name hasn't appeared in any formal filings, but his comedic influence looms large over this entire mess. Insiders claim Lively frequently sought her husband's input, hoping to add lighthearted moments to balance the film's serious themes. But once fans slammed the adaptation for watering down critical emotional moments, all references to Reynolds' involvement mysteriously vanished overnight. Some are now wondering if Ryan Reynolds will get pulled into the lawsuits, whether as a witness or as an unintentional player in the script rewrites. For now, he's staying on the sidelines. But that hasn't stopped speculation. Rumors are swirling about cryptic text messages that allegedly tie him to the comedic push. The very element Baldoni claims ruined the novel's emotional weight. At its core, It Ends With Us is a story about vulnerability, growth, and deep emotional reckoning. Fans who had high hopes for the adaptation are crushed, not just by the film's failure, but by the endless post-release drama that refuses to die down. Instead of celebrating a powerful cinematic experience, audiences are watching chaos unfold, with two major Hollywood figures locked in a battle over comedic rewrites, public smears, and even potential felony charges. For a film that promised raw, soul-stirring performances, the real show has become the daily legal bombshells making headlines. And what stings the most for longtime fans? The growing fear that this disastrous adaptation will permanently overshadow the novel's powerful message, leaving It Ends With Us remembered not for its impact, but for its scandal. The release of It Ends With Us was meant to be a celebration of a beloved novel's transition to the big screen. Instead, it's become a Hollywood disaster, filled with lawsuits, counterclaims, and accusations. A New York Times exposé, labeled by some as a smear campaign, and a bombshell website overflowing with evidence that could sway the case have only escalated tensions. Adding even more stakes, the looming prospect of Blake Lively facing jail time if accusations of falsified evidence are proven in court. Meanwhile, the film itself has been widely labeled a critical and commercial failure, overshadowed by the off-screen spectacle. Now, all eyes are locked on the two legal adversaries at the heart of the controversy. Justin Baldoni, often praised as empathetic and sincere, must convince the public he's not the controlling and unyielding director portrayed in the New York Times piece. On the other side, Blake Lively, fighting not only for her reputation, but possibly her freedom, must prove her innocence as the legal stakes continue to mount. What was supposed to be a triumphant adaptation has become a legal and reputational war with no clear ending in sight. Meanwhile, fans who once passionately supported It Ends With Us are now left stunned, watching an adaptation overshadowed by scandal. So, how does this all end? Will it quietly fade away in a private settlement? Will it erupt into a sensational courtroom showdown that makes the film's drama look tame in comparison? Or will there be a last-minute truce, a desperate attempt to salvage what's left? Hollywood is unpredictable, and this saga is far from over. One thing is clear, it's a cautionary tale about what happens when creative visions clash, egos collide, and the relentless spotlight of public scrutiny refuses to fade. What do you think? Did the New York Times cross the line in its portrayal of Baldoni, or is he really the unyielding force the article described? Could Blake Lively actually face jail time if the allegations of falsified evidence turn out to be true? As this drama continues to unfold, there's always more to uncover. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single twist in this unfolding Hollywood scandal.